Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are going to be making over our master bathroom. As you can see, it is very outdated, has a lot of those 90s colors with the gold handles and the cream color walls. So we want to give this a budget-friendly makeover and really bring it up to date without spending a lot of money. I wanted to do a lot more updating in this bathroom, like make a larger shower, put in a freestanding tub, and just do a lot of things, but we were on a tight budget and we were just trying to get this project done as budget friendly as possible, but still make it look really nice. The first thing that we're going to be working on are the cabinets. I'm going to be using this crud cutter to go ahead and clean these up. Now, ideally, we would be replacing these with some more modern ones, adult height, white ones that look really nice, but these are still really in good shape. And again, we want to save as much money as possible. So I'm going to be painting these. I did paint our kitchen cabinets, and after I finished that, I said I would never paint cabinets again because it was a lot of work, but I knew it was going to save me a lot of money. And so we're going to just go ahead and clean these up and paint them. Then I took some sandpaper and lightly scuffed up the varnish. That way the paint could stick on there. And then once I was done sanding down the whole cabinet, I just wiped it down to get any of the dust off so that way I can go ahead and start priming it. I just did 2 coats of the Sticks adhesion primer. For kitchen cabinets, I did 2 coats of the bin primer that is a stain blocker. I didn't want to go through all that work with these ones, and so I didn't worry about the stain coming through. So I just did 2 coats of just an adhesion primer just to kind of cover this up so that way the cabinet paint could stick easily on here. I thought I could easily paint around the drawers without having to take the faces off, but I quickly realized that it was a lot harder to do. So I had my son, who is 9, who loves to help out with tools. He actually took all of the drawer faces off, and I wasn't thinking, and I didn't label which went where, which made it a little bit harder to put everything back together because we had to guess which faces went on which drawers. I did that with our kitchen. I had it all labeled, but for this one I was like, oh, it's just a small project, it'll be fine, and didn't even think about it. So make sure you label everything. So yeah, it was a lot easier to paint without those drawer fronts and doors on. These doors and drawer fronts took a little bit of time to do because I had to do both sides. When we did our kitchen, I rolled the cabinet boxes, but we used a sprayer to do the doors and drawer fronts because there were so many. This one, I just ended up using my paintbrush. It was, it took a little bit of time, but highly recommend if you're doing a lot of them to just get a sprayer and spray them. In between coats, since I did do 2 coats, I just covered my paintbrush and my paint stuff with some plastic wrap. That way I didn't have to rinse out my brush every time. As you can see, after 2 coats of priming, you can really still see the cabinet through here. So I decided to just go ahead and move on with the paint color in hopes that it would cover it up since I was going to do 2 coats of that. So for my cabinet paint, I just used the Benjamin Moore Advance. It's in the satin finish, and the color is Chantilly Lace. It's basically the brightest white that you can do. Now, both of this paint, the primer and the cabinet paint, were left over from the kitchen. So I did not have to spend any money for this cabinet painting project. All I had to do was buy some of the foam cabinet rollers, and it was like a pack of 3 for $6. So that was literally the only cost that we had in here, and that's why I decided to do this to save money, because $6 to paint the cabinets I thought was pretty good. I did a total of 2 coats of the cabinet paint, so 4 coats of paint, primer, paint total, and it actually covered it pretty nicely. The downside to this paint is that it has a recoat of 16 hours, so you can't just let it dry and do another coat. I just had to wait till the next day. Again, I don't want to ever paint cabinets again, but I was very happy to be able to save several $100s. So I've done 2 coats, and you can see here it's kind of showing through. So I'm going to do a 3rd coat on this. I think the 2 coats are good enough on the doors. Probably could use a 3rd coat, but I'm sick of painting, and it doesn't look that bad. Just sick of painting. Sick of painting. I hate washing out brushes, so I'm just gonna dip the end in. And then we're just gonna, yeah, get it all over the wall, painting through the lens here. And I'm just gonna do a third coat on the side since this is what you see when you walk in the bathroom. Just kind of get one more coat on this so it's a little bit more even. You can see it's not super even. Next, it was time to move on to painting the walls and the ceiling. I am doing the cut-in work for the ceiling. We're using a dead flat finish in ceiling white. We like the three-tone paint. This is all just one color. The ceiling, the walls, the doors, the trim, everything was that yellowy color. So my husband's doing the rolling, I'm doing the cutting work. And then for the walls, we did repost gray, which is the same color we have throughout the rest of the house. We did not have to buy any extra paint for this. We painted our whole upstairs and our bedroom at the same time that we painted this, just so we can get all the painting done. We did not have to buy extra paint for this project, so we already had it on hand. And that saved us a ton of money, just kind of sticking with the colors that we already had through the rest of the house. Now I did decide to do an accent wall in our bedroom above our bed, and also this is the area that is right above our tub. I went something out of the normal that I would not normally go with, but I went with a very, very dark, almost black wall. I think it's iron ore, but it might be a different color that coordinates with the repost gray. I'm not totally sure. I can't remember what color it is, but it turned out stunning in here and our bedroom, and I just am so in love with this really dark accent wall. It almost looks black, but it turned out absolutely gorgeous. I should have covered the tub, so I got some splatters that I had to clean up, but it came up really well with rubbing alcohol. Here it is all finished, and then also the wall behind our bed. I cannot believe how beautiful this accent wall turned out. Going dark, almost black, it just made an amazing difference. So for our sinks, we just reused our sinks that were already there because they were in really good shape. They just needed a really good scrub. So I'm using Barkeeper's Friend and a non-scratch sponge. I scrubbed this up and it made them look almost completely brand new, which if we were to buy new sinks, they were between $80 to $100 each. So reusing what we already had because they were in great condition and were able to be cleaned up saved us a lot of money. For the countertops, we went to IKEA and we got this marble looking laminate kitchen countertop. Now, this was probably the most expensive part of this bathroom renovation, well, besides the flooring. These countertops were $100 each. We put these in the kids' bathroom a couple years ago and they were a lot cheaper. They've gone up in price, which is not surprising, but we wanted something that was really great quality, which this is, and we really liked the look of it as opposed to some in stock countertops that you would find at Lowe's or Home Depot. They just didn't have the look that we were going for. We loved this subtle marble look. It looked great with our cabinets and the gray walls. We did have to cut it down to size because kitchen countertops are a few inches deeper than bathroom countertops. So the little extra part that we cut off to make it fit our vanity was actually perfect for the backsplash for along the side and the back wall. We caulked all the seams just to give them that watertight seal and nice, clean, finished look. We attached the sinks, and then we did go ahead and buy some new faucets. Now, the old ones were very corroded, and they were that shiny metal. We got some brushed nickel ones, and they just turned out so nice and looked so much better and more updated. We took the baseboards off and decided to reuse those so we didn't have to buy new baseboards, plus these match what we already have in the house. We just painted them a semi-gloss white along with the doors so they would all look really nice together. For our flooring, we went with a waterproof vinyl flooring known as LVP. This was just something that we picked up at Lowe's. It was about $2.50 a square foot. We had a little over 100 square feet, maybe around 120. So it was pretty budget friendly. It wasn't their top quality, but it also wasn't the cheapest. It was a very nice quality with a little bit of texture. Now we did go ahead and just lay it right over our old vinyl flooring here because it was nice and level and we didn't have to worry about ripping it out and going through all that work, and it just worked out to lay it over the top of what we already had. Once we got the floor in, we could then reinstall all of the baseboards. So we got that in and it just gave it that finishing touch that looked so nice. Now our door hinges and doorknobs were that ugly gold color, so we replaced those with the brushed nickel. We actually replaced all of the doorknobs throughout the whole upstairs so everything would match. And here is the final reveal. I am amazed at how beautiful this turned out and how updated it looks. It looks so much better with the white and gray tones instead of all of those yellows and 90s colors. The floor turned out beautiful. The cabinets turned out beautiful. Everything just looks so clean and fresh. I just absolutely love it. We did not replace the light fixtures over the mirrors or the mirrors themselves. The lights were a little bit outdated, but they weren't that bad. We wanted to save money and not spend that for those light fixtures, but we did replace the flush mount ones. They were gold before, so now they're the nice brushed nickel. We didn't do anything in the shower. It wasn't that bad. That can be something updated at a later point, but that just was not in the budget for this renovation. I just love how this bathroom turned out. It's just, again, so clean and fresh. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and all the details that we put into this budget renovation and bathroom update. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.